All right, so today I think we're gonna get started working on some angle mods. One of the first things I did was I bought an actual real 3/4 to 1 inch DD steering shaft that telescopes. What this is gonna do is it's gonna go between the steering column and the rack, just make it easier for me to mess with the rack and all that. So you can see I already took this piece, disconnected it from the column right here. You can see it drop down there. So this new shaft is going to replace this one there. Then after that, we're going to go look at the knuckles, see what I can do about cutting like maybe an inch or maybe a ½ inch off. And then relocating the rack back a little bit. That's the main reason I wanted this new steering shaft, is because when I relocate that rack, it'll be a lot easier to deal with a telescoping shaft than a non-telescoping shaft. Yeah, so let's get to it. Okay, so I got that new shaft cut down to size, and what I did, since both ends are 3/4 DD, and this is 3/4 on this end and 1 inch here, I didn't want to have to go buy another U-joint. Oh, my neighbor's here. So I cut a couple inches off of here, welded it in here, so that way now it's both 3/4 DD. All right, let's get it in. All right, so now that I got the steering shaft in there, I actually moved the rack back a little bit. There was a spacer right here about twice as thick as these washers, but I moved it back a little bit, and what that did was it got the rack straight in line with these tie rods right here. And also when I cut the spindle and move it in a little bit, it won't be as bad of an angle, you know. And the boot is almost hitting this bolt right here, so I couldn't move it in further. But then again, on the other side, there's actually kind of a decent gap. So maybe I can just get a smaller boot on this side and then move the rack in a little bit more. That'll help, but we'll see what happens. Right now, I got the wheel off. So what I'm gonna do is try and show you guys this. I'm gonna cut this stopper off, see what kind of more angle that gives me, and I might go ahead cut the spindles. I think I might just take like a ½ inch out. I don't know. See what time it is, how I'm feeling after I get all this off of here and stuff. So it's really cramped up in there. I'm not gonna take the body off the car or anything, so I'm not gonna video it. But yeah, here we go. Oh, real quick, another thing I had to when I had the wheel on there and I had it full lock this way, I checked clearance between the frame back here and, you know, fender and everything, and I don't know if I had to, but I moved this brake line connection back a few inches. Just, you know, the wheel was coming close to it. It still had at least a few more inches, but I just wanted to be better be safe than sorry, you know. So I went ahead and did that, and there's still plenty of room for the line to, you know, come out at full lock, so not worried about. But yeah, gonna go ahead and get this work done, and I'll check in when it's done. All right, making a bit of progress. Got a little update. So got the tie rods disconnected. And then, ooh, man, brake caliper is hitting the spring. So I'm gonna have to swap to some coilovers ASAP. Besides that, I completely forgot the old tried and true rack spacers. So took the tie rod off. You can see it there. It's threaded on the inside, and then the rack has threads on it. So what I did, the rack, the end face of that is gonna bottom out in there. So what I did is made some spacers right here. Made my own little rack spacer. So basically, gonna take this, put it in there in the end, get some grease in there to hold it, I guess, and then put it back on the car. Do the same thing on the other side, and I'll get a little more angle. But I think that's all I'm gonna do as far as angle goes for now, and just deal with it until I get some coilovers, because I need to get rid of these springs. They were always meant to be temporary, just to get the car going, and now that I'm getting kinks worked out, figuring out what's going on, I think it's time for some coilovers. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna do it for now. You can see the steering shaft here. I had to beat in my manifold a little bit more, and I had to clearance it down near where that flange is a little bit more, because this is a 1-inch DD, whereas before it was 3/4. This is 1 inch, so that extra 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch radially made a big difference. So yeah, I had to do some more clearancing. Not too big of a deal though. I'm gonna get this back together, get these tie rods back together, call it a night, and yeah, I'll do some more updating hopefully when I get some coilovers. Sweet. All right, I got a bit of an update on the 53 drift car. Again, sorry I didn't take any video of me doing the work. I got into it, I was going, and just didn't take video. But what I did was I extended the upper and lower control arms 2 inches. You can see right here, and then up here. This is actually a 3-inch section. It's going over these two a little bit, 1/2 inch on each side. So 2 inch there, 2 inch here, and then I also extended the tie rod, inner tie rod 2 inches. I cut it and then welded in a 2-inch section of steel, solid steel rod. Couldn't find anyone that made extended Mustang 2 inner tie rods, so this is what I had to do. Same thing on the other side. Now I'm just waiting for some longer brake lines. And what I'm gonna do is, right now the brake line goes behind the coil. Here, let me go on the other side. Right now it goes behind the coil and then up here, and what happens is when I turn the wheel, like for example full left, the caliper swings in and the brake line hits the spring. So what I want to do is, I got some much longer brake lines. What I'm going to do is obviously attach it to the caliper, come out the front, and then kind of go like around the coil and then up here and then along the rail to the connection. I had to get like 32-inch long lines, but I think it'll be well worth it. Yeah, I can't wait to get those lines in. Hopefully tomorrow, we'll see. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. I can't wait to drive it again. Well, I got to get it aligned first, of course, but can't wait to get it driving again and see what it does now, and see what kind of angle I can get out of it now. Yeah, cool, sweet.